Human intelligence is grounded in our ability to understand ourselves in relation to the world around us. I will argue that the senses of touch and hearing, which can be seen as an extension of touch, play a vital role in the potential attainment of a post-human condition, which I will define through Jacques Camat's concept of homogeneity. In his book The Levels of Organic Life and the Human, Introduction to Philosophical Anthropology, Helmut Plessner explains the concept of the positionality of living beings. Positionality has to do with boundaries and with the way an organism bounds itself. Things are only located in space. Life is freedom of form within a form. An object only fills space. An organism takes its place in the medium. Objects have borders while organisms have boundaries, like a skin, that separate and protect them while allowing them to ingest, sense, eject, etc. Positionality is a two-way relation of the body into the body and away from the body. I liken positionality in relation to time to the typology of the Moebius strip. Animals navigate on the surface of the Moebius strip in the here and now, so the strip is a continuously perceived loop of events for them. Humans existing in both the past and the future, nowhere and never, navigate above the strip, enabling them to perceive the twist in its surface and its inherent ambiguity. In my artistic practice, I make heavy use of noise feedback, Larsen effect, and video feedback, which are exponential, chaotic, and dynamic systems. Feedback uses delay, which is a great analogy for the eccentric positionality of humans and the double-sided relationship they have with their body and environment. It also exhibits behavior of auto-similarity and auto-organization that illustrates the emergence of consciousness and self-reflexivity. It also accounts for the mediation, the milieu, the gray area, the border, and the boundary. Kazimierz Dabrowski was a Polish psychologist, psychiatrist, and physician born in 1902. He developed a theory of the formation of personality. He argues that humans navigate levels of integration, primary and secondary. The sense of personality arises as the individual resolves the conflict between the levels of integration, which is the process that Dabrowski calls disintegration. We can link this to positionality as it is also a two-way relation between primary and secondary integration, with the in-between process of disintegration as a shared world. Here again, we are faced with the processes of feedback, auto-organization, and the threefold situation of humans. Personality develops through iterative processes, accumulating individual differences and adapting to changing circumstances under many constraints. Fractal geometry gives a visual and conceptual perspective to understand the multifaceted and ever-evolving nature of human identity. We can liken the development of the personality to the process of resolving one's equation with ever-changing parameters. As humans, our perception is fragmented, and what we consider our identity is like a map in relation to the rhizome, in Deleuze's terms, an extract. The relationship between our consciousness and the entirety of what we are is like the relationship between one particular Julia set and the Mandelbrot ensemble. On the right is the Mandelbrot set, and on the left is the corresponding Julia set for a particular position in the Mandelbrot set. Jacques Camat is a French philosopher born in 1935. He proposes a philosophy that is both very dense and very clear, rooted in materialism and the work of Marx and Bourdieu. He also draws from ethnology, and in particular from the work of André Leroy-Gourand on prehistory and the anthropology of techniques, as a framework for thinking about humanity against an enlarged backdrop. Camat posits that humanity, faced with the trauma of the threat of extinction, developed processes of covering over reality through the development of knowledge. Humans experience their discontinuity with nature in their wandering state. They keep replaying the initial threat through the process of ontosis on an individual level and speciosis on the species level. Eventually, at the end of the process, inversion and uncovering will occur, allowing the emergence of a new species of humanity, Homo gemeinwesen. The sense of touch is dominating in immediate communities, and I believe it will be primordial in the appearance of Homo gemeinwesen. Without a doubt, the developed sense of touch in humans has been extremely instrumental in their ability to construct and use complex composed tools. It is the most efficient sense for situating our body in the world. Upward standing position of Homo sapiens allowed for a new use of the anterior limbs. Using their hands, humans also liberated their mouth and allowed for the continued use of language and the development of knowledge, culture, history, and concepts. Touch is, in essence, the emergence of biological life out of chemistry by the formation of the ability to be bound, and thus for the body to be in contact with the medium environment. The creation of the membrane between the cell and its environment and the qualities of tension and permeability constitute the first occurrence of touch. The kinesthetic instrument is a device designed to change the relationship of humans to machines through touch. It is used in a creative praxis aimed at stimulating positive integration and the emergence of Homo gemeinwesen. Building the kinesthetic instrument is an ongoing process in which the body of the instrument is slowly defined. It is an object of organic aspect with a complex array of sensors, and it incorporates feedback processes that make it a dynamic and cybernetic nexus. It is mimicking living beings by using both patterns and bifurcations. It renders sensible the ambiguity of our eccentric positionality and the underlying principles of chaos that govern our relationship with the world. The extreme acceleration and extreme overload of the senses make it difficult to find space for subtlety and endurance. The kinesthetic instrument is a creative instrument to practice touch with acute attention. By touching the kinesthetic instrument, one gets touched by it in return. Its direct reaction to touch makes it immediate. Its behavior, prone to volatility, encourages our capacity for astonishment. The kinesthetic instrument helps us navigate the border of the fractal, confronting us with the contingency and immediacy of life. Using it puts us in a relationship of discovery. It is a machine with a certain level of agency that interrogates what we expect from machines. It allows us to let go of our Promethean shame and to accept the unforeseen and spontaneity. It reinforces our ability to participate in the cosmos. The praxis of creation with the kinesthetic instrument is meant to encourage positive disintegration as a pathway to the end of ontosis. It is merely a tool for stimulating inversion.